Validating is not saying, at least it's not the end of the world. At least it's, it could be worse. Definitely, there are people that are dying in, I don't know, in Ukraine. I'm sorry you feel that way. Gosh, you know how invalidating that is? I'm sorry you feel that way. It's telling you, well, there's a right way and then there's your way. I'm sorry you have your way. You believe different. You shouldn't feel that way. Because why shouldn't I feel that way? Because you don't feel that way? No, well, that's not, in the work arena at least, this is not a good take. And in our personal lives, that's all well and good, because what do I do when I come to that conclusion? No more phone calls or no more whatevers or no more interactions. But we can't at work, and if you're leading employees, that's not an option. You don't get to lead the employees that you like or that jive with you. You don't. You lead them all. And this is why this is your superpower. Because this is what is going to allow you to bridge, and this is your gateway into respect of those people that you actually even dislike. You genuinely dislike, but you're able to set that aside because you understand this, what you have before you is a human being. How many of you think that respect is earned? How many of you think respect is owed? Because respect in the workplace is owed all the time. Because there's another definition for respect, which is not based on admiration. I don't have to admire any quality in you. I just need to give you your due regard for your feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions. That's what I need to do. I need to be aware that you're not me. You're not like me. No need for you to be like me, for me to respect you. So this is the one we want to use at work. We don't need to admire anyone, because when it's based on admiration, I can understand how that's earned. In the work environment, it's a little bit complicated, because then you start replacing what the person is feeling with what you think they're feeling. Let me give you an example. I was managing a group of employees, and this person, her mother, it's pandemic time, her mother went on vacation, and the mother contracted COVID during the travels, and she got hospitalized and eventually died. So the team member said goodbye to her mother for a vacation and never saw her again. It was the time when they wouldn't let you even see your loved one. They would cremate and give you the results of the cremation. That's what they would deliver. So I thought about that situation, and I thought about my mother. She was still alive at the time. And I thought, oh gosh, that is so, I was really moved. And ready to do whatever needed to be done, and to, help in meaningful ways with the situation, and totally moved with the situation. And again, because I was thinking, had that happened to me, that sympathy, had that happened to me, I would be devastated. It would be horrible to say goodbye to my mom at the airport, or whomever, whatever, at home, and then not see her again because she died of COVID while she was traveling. But true to my own stuff, I did sit down with the team member, and I asked her what she needed. And she said, nothing, because my relationship with my mother was very complicated. I don't know what I feel. So imagine that, had I express all my, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It would have been harsh for her because she's feeling basically nothing. That's what she's telling me. So I need to empathize with that, with the fact that she's confused about what she's feeling, not with, oh my gosh, you lost your mother. That's my stuff. Mindful detachment, you practice it enough and you will see how you are able to leave your personal beliefs. That's why I asked you to understand and know, top to bottom, your non-negotiables. If you don't know your non-negotiables, you can't do mindful detachment because everything will seem crucial. You know, oh, I was raised this way. How am I going to do? No. There are things that you set aside because you lead a team of people that are they're not your siblings. They didn't grow up with you. You need to set it aside. But usually, what happens is that as leaders, we lead with our personal set of principles, and that's our guiding light. And we don't understand how someone else is not seeing it so clearly as you see it because, you know, after all, weren't we all raised this way? No, we were not. No, we were not. So what do? We need to lead with the values of the team. This is why it's so important. Your non-negotiables, leadership. Do you know your non-negotiables clearly? Can you give it to me in a minute? Have you worked on that? If you don't know your non-negotiables, how are you going to detach from them? Another distinction that I wanted to make you aware of is in the journey to self-awareness is of our state of minds versus our feelings, right? There is a difference, you know, and our state of mind is the one that will inform us whether we're ready for a conversation or we're ready for a conflict. So how do you connect with someone that you need to talk to the person about an uncomfortable subject? Well, you start by, you know, asking questions that address how they're feeling, whether, you know, just connecting with them personally, right? The questions that will give you information as to the state of mind of the person, the way the person is feeling. Those things are important in order to properly frame what's going to happen next. Having a connection with the individual. That is first and foremost. Try as much as you can not to begin a candid, difficult conversation without having established a connection with the individual. Just don't. I remember a situation that I had with an attorney that I indirectly supervised, and she had 2 assistants assigned to her. She came directly from Spain, and the assistants were born and raised in the United States. So, but they spoke Spanish. The assistants were fluent in Spanish. And the Spanish attorney, well, of course, she also was fluent in Spanish. So one day, the assistants came to my office because the attorney has said something to the effects of, "Are you an idiot?" in Spanish. Pero tú eres idiota, you know, like this. And apparently she explained from whatever region of Spain she was coming from, saying, "Are you an idiot?" was like a colloquial thing. It wasn't meant as an insult, right? So this is a very huge cultural divide because in the United States, if you're telling someone, "Are you an idiot?" it's an insult. It's usually considered insulting. So we I mean, it would have been enough to say, you know, you can't call them idiots or blah, 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 and tell the assistants, you know, she won't call you idiots anymore. But I knew that that cultural divide was going to bring a lot of issues. That was going to be a nightmare, a recurring nightmare. So I spent 7 hours with the three of them having a conversation. It took me an entire day, an entire work day, having conversations about our common grounds. And we drafted an agreement based on all the information that we were able to collect from that 7-hour-long meeting. If you feel it, you feel it. Yeah. But if you don't, that's why normalizing asking, how are you feeling? How do you feel about this? How are you feeling is important, because in the workplace, some people find it funny. The touchy-feely thing they find funny, they don't like it, it's uncomfortable, because the value or the view they have about emotions is, again, it's their filter talking. And human beings, we're emotions. You know, I was called as a leader to have that conversation with the individual, and it had to do with his hygiene habits. It was very uncomfortable, but it was done, and never lost contact with, you know, connection with that human being that was before me, that I could have taken away his dignity quite easily and without intention, mind you, because that was not my intention, but I could have, because it was a very, very thorny subject. So having a plan and having a way of doing this will avoid taking away someone's dignity. You are the captain of that ship, and as captain of you must figure it out. I'm not saying that it's easy, but I'm saying, yes, that is a good leader. That's a courageous leader. It's that you're taking time not to be a good technician only. You care. You actually care about the people that you are responsible for, and you're showing it.